Hey, what's up everybody? Jason Kelly here, Creator of the Balanced Body. Hope everybody's having a great day today. Today I'm going to show you complex training and French contrast training that was invented by Gilles Comente. Complex and French contrast training are excellent to develop your strength, speed, power, and agility. Overall, what you're trying to do with these two types of training is improve something called the stretch reflex and post-activation potential. These two things help you become faster and more explosive. But before I begin, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel so you can receive future notifications based on more strength training, fitness, health, speed, and explosive techniques. And if you like this video, make sure you share it to your friends and family or anyone who needs help or wants to understand how to find the best version of themselves using complex and French contrast training. Complex training is taking two exercises. The first exercise is a heavy resistance exercise, and the second exercise is an explosive exercise. Basically, you're using no weight. So for example, you can use heavy barbell squat for the first exercise, and for the second exercise, you would do vertical jumps or jump squats. And so by doing the first exercise, it helps create this potentiation for the second exercise. That helps you to become faster and more explosive. Now the two exercises need to be similar, they just can't be different. So it needs to have a comparison, it has to have a direct utilization from the first exercise into the second exercise. Now your rest time between the sets depending on your sport. So if you're in a sport like hockey where you'll have 1 to 2 minutes on the ice and maybe 1 to 2 minutes rest, you understand how to maybe utilize the rest time within 1 minute before you do the next exercise. Or if you're in a more explosive type of way where you need to sprint repeatedly, sprint and within 30 seconds, then you understand what your rest time needs to be. You need to do strength training, but you also need to train your recovery during performance. So it doesn't make sense if you're a baseball pitcher and you're not taking the optimal amount of recovery that you need before the next pitch. You're just tiring yourself out. If you're a football player and you're on the line and you have so much time in between plays, well, you need to utilize that recovery time to each play. So your strength training is just as important as your recovery time during performance. Yes, if you want to optimize the result, you take about 3 minutes for the ATP PC system, which is the primary system to restore itself to do the second exercise. So that will maximize and help optimize your power, but again, you have to think sport specific too if you're playing a specific sport. And now French contrast training is similar. Actually, complex training is the first two exercises of French contrast training. But in French contrast training, what you're doing is you're trying to improve the neuromuscular aspect. You're trying to enhance that neural drive aspect by using 4 exercises. And so the first exercise is a heavy resistance exercise of 3 to 5 reps. The second exercise is a plyometric dynamic exercise. The third exercise would be like a lightly weighted exercise of the first exercise, just like maybe half or 30% of that weight. And then the fourth exercise would be your second, the plyometric, or it could be an assisted type of plyometric movement. Like if you're doing a plyometric push-up where the resistance band is helping you push back up. The idea is to train the nervous system to create a more extended, a higher neural drive for your performance. Like this video, complex training and French contrast training, you can buy my book, Instant Strength. It's available on Amazon.com, and I'll leave a link in the description section of this video. And again, the rest times in between French contrast training would be what you would need to do for your sport performance. Again, training your recovery in between your in your in-play performance, whether that's on the ice, field, or the court. Try to be more sports specific for that. And then after you complete the set of 4 exercises, you could take about a 2 to 3 minute rest and try to keep repeating these sets for as many as you can. Once you get tired, stop. Your nervous system isn't going to produce any more after that, and you're going to start feeding into negative feedback mechanisms for your performance. The idea is to train, train, and train and take it to a higher level over time. All right, here's the setup for French contrast and complex training. So the first exercise would be the heavy weighted exercise for 3 to 5 reps, about 85%. And then the second exercise would be your dynamic explosive exercise, the plyometric. So that would be complex training. And then here's the French contrast training portion for the third exercise. That would be a lighter version of the first exercise, or explosive. And then the fourth exercise, going back to that plyometric jump again. And here we are doing a box eccentric step off with a resistance band attached to the hip. And so we're working on the eccentric load for the lateral bound, as you'll see now. And so here we go with lateral speed skaters, okay? Working on the plyometric speed version of that. And then I go back to the third exercise for the French contrast with a resistance band attached to the hip. And then again back to the fourth exercise, working on that plyometric speed skater again. Now for the deadlift version, we're going to do again 3 to 5 reps at about 85% of the 1 rep max. And then after the deadlift, you can go into this plyometric version. I chose kettlebell swings here, but there's a number of exercises that you can do for a plyometric second exercise, which would complete the complex training. And now for the contrast training, I'm doing Nordic hip bridge that are weighted here. And I'm doing them nice and slow, working on that eccentric isometric tension there. And then for the fourth exercise for French contrast, we're doing explosive Nordic hip bridges. All right, so for this training here, we're using the Exer-Genie, and so I'm focusing on specifically that left power push-off, just the left leg. And then from there, we'll go with the dynamic version, plyometric version here, of just that left leg push-off again. And then I'm going to reload with the Exer-Genie. I'm going to decrease the tension on the Exer-Genie and work more explosive there. And then again, we'll go back to that fourth exercise here that is going to be more explosive in the plyometric. Hey, thanks for watching, and I hope these exercises really help with your sport-specific performance, and I hope you enjoy doing this method. It's a really good method, but remember, you need to have a good level of strength before you start complex or French contrast training. My book, Instant Strength, goes into all of this and gives you a 12-week program from eccentric strength training into French contrast training. Again, thanks for watching and have a great day.